Hello everybody, welcome back. I am TheChornick, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have another Last of Us 2 theory. Yes, indeed. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to speculate what the plot could be in the next Last of Us game. Now, obviously, if The Last of Us 2 does come out, obviously we're gonna have a major story because The Last of Us originally was, well known for their story with Joel and Ellie. Obviously, so we're going to speculate what the story would be, the story mode, the campaign, whatever you'd like to call it, the main part of the game itself. What will the story be for the next game? Now, some people want Joel and Ellie to return, some people want Joel and Ellie to leave and have brand new characters, and so you guys could post in the comment section below what you want. The problem, though, with continuing Joel and Ellie's story is that Neil Druckmann, the director of The Last of Us and the one who wrote the whole story, basically said that their story was over, that this was originally what he wanted it to be, and it's over. He said this was, the Last of Us story, and at this point, he said that if he was going to create another game, that it would probably most likely be different characters. Even though a lot of people still want Joel and Ellie to come back, it's kind of split down the middle. 50% of people want the characters to come back, and the other 50% want brand new characters. But Neil said that he's actually been trying to think of a different plot line, additions to the story, or a different story for The Last of Us in general. So he's actually been thinking about it, but he hasn't came up with anything, and he's not really too sure about making another game because he's too worried about the original game. Just that the next game is not going to be as good as the original game is what I'm trying to say, and what he was saying. So obviously, we have to really take into consideration whether we should actually have Joel and Ellie come back, or we should have brand new characters, maybe set in a brand new location. Maybe we could have a European setting, or we could have an Asian setting. And a lot of people wanted to have a different setting because, also this disease could have, affected all over the world. And obviously, with a European setting, it would have been a little different, as well as an Asian setting, and where we could, obviously there could be a lot more population and a lot more infected people. So a lot of people also wanted a more plot line about the infected, and that people thought that this game, The Last of Us, was more about how the people were the main enemies and humans were like the main threat, and the infected were just kind of a sideshow. But also, if you guys didn't know, that when they originally made this game, the infected were only supposed to be in the beginning, and that the infected were actually not supposed to be implemented into the game until later. They were not even planned to be in the game. It was just supposed to be about the humans and Ellie and Joel's relationship. The infected were just supposed to be the ones to start it all, and then the humans were supposed to be the ones to basically take each other out and ruin each other and all that good stuff. So, obviously, the infected weren't originally supposed to be part of the story technically, really. So, obviously, this kind of shoots down everyone's belief that the infected didn't get much, love, I guess you could say. But the fact is, they weren't even supposed to get any love. So. But anyway, yes. So obviously, I would enjoy some more infected. Obviously, with The Last of Us, it is a crucial part of it. So at this point, and a lot of people love to have the infected back. Obviously, there's the multiplayer. I'll go over next week. What the multiplayer should be like, and how the infected should also be implemented into the multiplayer. I'll go over that next week as well. Now let's go back to Joel and Ellie's story. Now the whole thing is that The Last of Us was actually mainly just about them and their relationship. It wasn't about saving the world. That wasn't the whole point of the story. It was mainly about just Joel and Ellie growing a bond for one another, and their whole relationship kind of as father and daughter. And with the next game, should they have another game? Obviously, it kind of was a cliffhanger where, Ellie kind of knew that Joel was lying, or maybe she thought he knew he was lying, because obviously he kind of was. He told her that that the Fireflies basically given up hope in creating a vaccine because that there's so much more like Ellie, that there's a lot more people that are immune to being infected, and that there's just no hope. And Joel kind of lied to Ellie about this, because obviously the Fireflies obviously did not have all these people, and so we could have a continuation of that story. The Fireflies could possibly be coming back, trying to gain Ellie again, try to capture her again. I think the lesson that The Last of Us was trying to teach is that the world doesn't need saving, like the Fireflies believed that they were trying to do and that believed needed to happen, and actually that the world could actually just take care of itself. And I think that was what the lesson they were trying to teach in this game, is that the world just takes care of itself over time, just let things go. And I think that's what Tommy was doing, you know, just carry on with life, and life takes care of itself, and there's no need to worry about saving the world, because the world knows how to take care of itself no matter what it goes through. And I think that was partly the moral in the lesson of this game, was all about that. So obviously we could continue with Joel and Ellie's story. We could have it right after that cliffhanger we had right after the story from the first game, or we could have it a couple of years into the future and continue it from there. Obviously, if we have a different, entirely different like story in which we have brand new characters, I don't know, but I think it would be kind of similar in terms of, you know, they will have the same kind of struggles, perhaps. You know, they will still be going up maybe against infected or against other humans. Perhaps maybe we could have it just in a clan. Maybe you'd be trying to build up a civilization, like I said with Tommy's. Maybe we could have it. Maybe be the same storyline, you know, time zone as Joel and Ellie's. Maybe we would hear about them. Honestly, personally, I think that we should have a story that is still set in the same time zone. Because of the first game being in the United States, I think the second game should kind of wrap that up and also be set in the United States or just nearby. And maybe you could hear about Joel and Ellie, you know, within that game. Maybe they could be in the same time zone, or we could have you just hear about them, you know, and then maybe perhaps we'll meet up with them, and maybe we could play 1 or 2 missions as Joel and Ellie, or just like pass them by, you know what I'm saying? I think we should still be in the same universe, if you get what I'm going at with this, as Joel and Ellie's story, because the original Last of Us story was all about Joel and Ellie, and everybody remembers The Last of Us for them, you know, for Joel and Ellie. So obviously, guys, that is just the main concern. But whatever you guys believe should happen, please post in the comment section below. Thanks guys for watching. Please post any story, anything you want, please post in the comment section below. I love all of you. I'm going to leave you guys off with this awesome Molotov throw. Prepare for this awesome bullseye. Here we go. Ready? Yeah, peace out, everybody.